Good morning. Good morning. We're going to get started with our lesson today, our service. Would everyone take their seats? And I'd like to welcome you here this morning. I am going to give the lesson today. Reverend Loretta is not here. And we're going to go forward and have a wonderful time today. And we're going to start off this morning, as we always do, with the spiritual mind treatment. And it's going to be done by Court Hassinger, one of our licensed practitioners. Oh, sorry. My error. I apologize. Shonda Fields, one of our licensed practitioners, is going to do the treatment. Shonda, welcome.
Good morning. Let's get centered. This is a spiritual mind treatment for the speaker and each and every person in this room. As we take a breath into our body, we're acknowledging the divine presence of God that flows in, through us, and around us. Right here, right now, acknowledging that God is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, and each person in this room is connected to this truth, knowing that we are the beginning and the end. God is, I am. This is the truth for each and every person in this room. And as we breathe this in and we acknowledge this truth of who we are and whose we are, we know that all things are working for our highest good. We are understanding that everything is done to us according to our belief and according to our faith. And right here, right now, each and every person is falling into the truth that faith is the tool for which they use to move through this day, through this week. Everyone is understanding that right here in this moment, that nothing is happening to them, that everything is happening for them. They are understanding that when they speak the truth and they claim they're good, that they're bringing forth the truth out of the nothingness into the physical realm. And it is done according to their word. It is done according to the faith. It is done according to the belief that they have, knowing that there is one divine law that is the essence of who we are. This is the truth for each and every person in this room, that they are embodying the faith and they're embodying it as a knowingness that everything is moving according to plan. They're letting go of all physical appearances, knowing that that is not their truth. They're letting go of fear, anxiety. They're letting go into anything that does not support them right here in this moment, and replacing it with peace, replacing it with the truth that all is well. This is the truth for each person in this room, and they're claiming it. They're claiming it on the deeper knowingness inside each cell in their body. And as we all move through this week, we are moving and we are walking by faith and not by sight. We are listening with our spiritual ears, and we're speaking with our spiritual tongue, knowing that the words that we speak is dictating our lives. That is our truth. Each and every person embodies this truth. We embrace this truth. We move forward in faith. We move forward in guidance, knowing that all is well. Releasing this back into law, and so it is. Amen.
Fantastic. And now we'll have our reading by Court Hassinger.
Today, Fannie's speaking on the spiritual tool of faith. So I'm going to read to you the definition of faith as outlined by our founder, Ernest Holmes, from the book Science of Mind. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith is a mental attitude so inwardly embodied that the mind can no longer deny it. Faith is complete when it is both a conscious and subjective acceptance. Faith may be consciously generated. In spiritual terminology, faith means a belief in the presence of an invisible principle and law which directly and specifically responds to us. Thy faith has made thee whole, and so it is.
Thank you so much for that great treatment, Shauna, and that reading by Court. And now I'd like to say to all of you, welcome, and I wish you all a happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday.
It's a little. I can wrap a finger around.
Okay. And now, Julie, are you ready? You ready? Yeah. Okay. And now we'll have music by Julie and James.
Caffeinated, thanks to Gary. Well, we brought you some Kelly Clarkson today, so I'm sure a lot of you will know it, and you are more than welcome to sing along.
You are heartily encouraged to sing along.
Yes.
And I just want to say thanks to Yoichi, because Yoichi is here whenever we're here, and he does a great job running the sound and
Yes, thank
helping
you.
us, and we really appreciate it. Thanks for all you do.
Da
good note today. I mean, I am so enthusiastic about this lesson today. The treatment, the reading, the song. Faith, we're going to talk about. What we want to do today is energize our faith to make sure that the faith that we have can help us withstand any challenge. And when I think about spiritual tools, I'm reminded when I was a young girl at Christmas time, and my family had a tradition of giving lots of presents. And I would get maybe 2 or 3 presents, and each present was different from the first one. And I looked at those presents and I said, oh, I have got all kinds of things. When we talk about spiritual tools, we open up this box, and therein lies all of these tools, all of these means of helping us to move through life without struggle, without strain. Life should not be a struggle. Life should be a joy. The joy of living, the joy of being alive is the purpose of our being here. We are to enjoy this life, for that's why we came into the world. The Christ said, I came so that you will have life and have it abundantly. So abundantly does not mean lack, loss, limitation. It means inclusiveness, more, the joy of living, the joy of being. We can get there through our thoughts. I had a doctor's appointment this week. And every time I see this doctor, my blood pressure is always high. And I'm taking medication, and that morning I didn't take it, and I got to the office, and I said, oh my goodness, I got to take this thing before I see this doctor, because my blood pressure is going to be high. So I sat there for a moment, and I said to myself, and this is where faith comes into my life. I said, my blood pressure is perfect. My blood pressure is perfect. And I went into the room, and she took my blood pressure, and she said, my God, your blood pressure is perfect. I said, what is it? Because, what is it? She says, 125/70. I said, wow. But let me say this to you. I've been in this teaching for quite a while. And it gives me pleasure to share with you my beliefs and my faith. Because I truly, unequivocally, believe in spiritual mind treatment. And I know that it works. And Ernest Soames says, that we're living in a time where we need to go within. We need to go to that place where spirit resides in each one of us. The things, the tools that we have, faith, creativity, love. Now, when we look at these tools, we sometimes do not value them. We say, well, I'm creative, but do I love myself? Am I capable of love? Well, you are capable of all the good that you can have through your belief and your faith. It's imperative that we develop our faith based on the fact that God is inside of us, not outside of us. Everything that we need is already in us. But how do we bring it out? How do we use it? Some of the ways we can use it is by thinking. Now, we all think. We think every hour, every second, every moment, there's a thought going through our minds. But what kinds of thoughts are we thinking? Are we thinking positive? Are we going back into the recesses of things that happened in the past and reliving those disappointments, those things that were not so good? In the Bible, it says that Christ said, "Let the dead bury the dead." That means dead thoughts should not come forth. You should cast them out and move forward. I walk by faith and not by sight. Well, you walk in faith. We woke up, everyone came here this morning with the idea that I am going to get here. I am going to be at this center today. There was no doubt. There were no fears. And it happened. Now just think, if we develop our faith to the point in every area of our lives that we have a smooth sailing. Challenges we are going to have. That is life itself. Every day you will have, well, some days you may and some days you may not, depending on the circumstances and the events. But through faith and belief in the supreme power of the presence of God within you and within me, we can manage those circumstances, those challenges, without falling apart. This science is to help us navigate through life. Meeting challenges face on, solving the problem, and moving on. That is the way I look at faith and my beliefs. Our beliefs and faith determines how we use the power. We have great power. The word, the spoken word, is powerful. And I try to guard the words that I use, either to describe myself or to describe others. If I have a situation in my life where I am having a problem with the person, I am not talking about the individuality of that individual. I am not casting doubts on who she or he is as an individual, as a representation of God as that person. I look at the act, and then I say, I do not like that, but I'm not condemning you as a person. We can't condemn people because of the way they act. The act, because everyone can change. And we allow the space for people to make change. That is faith. Faith means we have confidence in ourselves enough faith and belief that there is space for all of us. There's space for people to change and to change their lives, and we can change our lives. How do we do this? In this teaching, spiritual mind treatment will help you develop a strong belief and a strong faith. If you do your treatment regularly, and I do mine regularly, every day, you don't have to, sit and do a treatment. You can walk doing a treatment. think about what it is that you are the main thought. Because we learned in this teaching, thoughts are things. And if you do not want a certain thing or event or whatever in your life, confusion, anger, anxiety, fear, you don't want that, then treat that out. Treat it out. Fear is the one crippling characteristics that we have, but we can manage fear through our faith and our belief in ourselves. In doing my reading, I discovered that when we pray with the sincere belief in what it is we want, we can get that. With the sincere belief. Now, belief and faith are together. You have your belief, you have your faith. Now, the belief part of our consciousness, we can believe a lot of things without facts. People say things that have absolutely no truth in it. But they have faith in that thing? Faith is a different part of us. Some of us may believe something. You can change your belief because it's a thing of thought. Your belief is a conviction that you know without a doubt that you can do whatever it is you want to do. Without a doubt, no fear, no anxiety. But when you decide to do anything, for example, if you're in a job and you're going to do a new project, think about it. Don't talk about it. A lot of us diminish our faith and the power of faith by telling everyone around us, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to say, and the next thing you know, everybody is saying, you can't do that. You can't be that. Why not? If your faith and belief in what you're doing, you can have it. The one thing about religious science is that you cannot use the science to hurt anyone, for bad intentions. You can't say, and we have this idea that I can talk about someone in a negative way and it's all right. In this science, in this teaching, and in life itself, the things I say negative about someone else comes back tenfold. And you have people say, oh, why is this happening to me? Well, what did you do? This is really, I tell you, it is so incredibly good to know these things. Because when you send out good, you can only get back the good that you put out. You can't get back negative. We change through the way we think. And if we can change the way we think and change our belief system and develop a strong faith in the Spirit, this invisible present, this thing that you cannot put your finger on, this thing that you may not be able to touch, this spiritual quality that's in each one of us. You know it when you feel it. When you go to a sunset, when you see the sunset and you see the colors, the spread of colors, and you are moved by this vision, and you say to yourself, how magnificent is this? That magnificence that's in the rainbow is in you. Because if that magnificence was not in you, you could not experience that magnificence in the rainbow. It has to be within you for you to experience it. The beauty of life, the beauty of the springtime, all of these qualities, these are tools that we have. And what I'm conveying today is that let's look at ourselves in a different perspective. Let's appreciate the qualities of spirit within us and develop a deep sense of love and faith in the spirit within. For the God power, the God guidance, the God love, and means that we must love ourselves equally. We must present this beautiful, intelligent edifice that houses this incredible Spirit of God in each of us. Affirmative prayer every day is one way to keep fortifying our spiritualness, and particularly our faith. I say in the mornings, I am a divine idea in the mind of God, divinely guided, supported, maintained, and sustained by an infinite knower, an infinite doer. In all things, this day and every day will work together for good in my life, right here and right now. And so it is. But you can think of an affirmation that will help you develop your faith. Because once you develop this strong faith, there is a joy of knowing. There is a joy of feeling that you have a silent partner, that the Spirit of God is always guiding and directing your actions and your reactions. You will find, if you practice this regularly, that no matter what comes about, you can see through the other to the other side of it. And the other side of it would be calm, peaceful, and resolute. If there's a problem, you will get through that problem with ease. I know that some may say, well, I've had some challenges and that has not happened. And why? Well, where did you put your faith? You have people say, well, I did my prayer work and nothing happened. And someone else will say, I did my prayer work and had a tremendous change in my life. Well, where was your faith in the prayer, in the Spirit of God within you when you said your prayer? The story I told you about my blood pressure, I said, and in me, at that moment, I knew that the Spirit of God was in me. And I said, I declared that it was perfect. You can do the same thing. There is no difference. There is no spirit of some and the spirit of others. There is no entity that grades others better than you. There is all the same. All of us are the same in the eyes of God. We are all equal. There's no up and there's no down, there's no small, there's no large. There is just is. We are all that we are by means of God. And any one of us can make a change in our lives like that, depending on our faith and our beliefs. The one step that I suggested in the treatment that I just did, you can look in the science of mind, there are tons of treatments. Tailor it to your need. Tailor it to your need. I know that I'm a licensed practitioner, and some people say, well, I'm not a practitioner, I can't do this. You can pray. We all are practitioners. We are praying when we don't know we're praying. When we say things that are not right, that's a prayer. When you make a false statement about yourself or someone else, that is a prayer. It goes into the universe and returns. So we need to watch. And as I grew up in the Episcopal Church and also attended the Baptist, the Methodist, and it says, watch and pray. Well, my Lord, I thought I had to look out there and watch everything going on. But it was not that. When I came into this teaching, what it taught me is that I should watch my thoughts. How do I think? What do I think about? What is manifesting in my life as a result of my thought pattern? And if I do not like that, how do I change it? I must change my thought pattern in faith and knowing that the power and the presence of God would respond immediately. That's how you change. It is hard to do because patterns are hard to break. But if you keep doing it, day after day after day, and tell me, oh, I got to go to work, I can't pray on the way to work. Oh, I have a meeting and I won't be able to pray going to the meeting. Say a silent prayer. You don't have to be sitting in a stationary place to make a prayer. God is not going to say, well, Fannie, you didn't get up this morning at 6 o'clock and do your treatment, so I'm not going to listen today. That's not the way it works. I pray on the way to work. I pray in the subway silently. Because, we're always thinking, there's just things running through your mind. You see somebody on the subway and say, oh my God, how could she wear that today? And then I said, oh, that has nothing to do with me. Pull myself back from that thought. Because that has nothing to do with me. I am sharing, and I did a lot of reading on this topic. And there's a lot that we can learn about faith. And Ernest Holmes says that in difficult times, we turn to that internal knowingness, that internalness that is always available to us. And I try to make sure that I do that. Sometimes I won't hit the mark. But then this is what I do. I will not beat myself up. I will not do that. I have stopped criticizing myself because God is forgiving. Imagine if there was a God that could not forgive. I'm not sure any of us would be here. Because we have done some things or said some things that were not right. But it is in the forgivingness part, the loving part of the Spirit the divineness of it, the fact that it is so huge and so all-encompassing. It is immense, and it has the ability to do all things through our faith in it. And it asks very little of us. Some of us, very little. It says in the Bible, if you have the faith of a mustard seed, and that is so tiny that sometimes you need a micro thing to make it so that you can see it. Just think about that. The faith of a mustard seed, to generate just the tiniest bit of faith, God comes back. God is there. That is the good news. The good news today, my friends, is that God loves us all, and God does not hold revenge. It is not a revenge proposition. Your mistakes are forgiven, and your love, his love for all of us, the spiritual love for all of us, is ongoing endlessly. It doesn't end. And I hope that all of us, this time, this Easter time, the time of the new birth, the newness of life, the forthcoming of a new life, a new experience, that we all take a moment to take pains to renew our belief in the Spirit of God, to say, I am a divine idea in the mind of God, divinely guided, divinely supported, and divinely maintained in all that I do, say, or think. For I am one with God. And so ends the lesson. Thank you. I hope you're enjoying. Well, now.
Michael Beckwith.
It's Ricky Byers Beckwith. Yeah. Or I guess it's Ricky Byers now, not
yeah.
Beckwith. Let's see. Okay, I'm ready.
Take it away.
For You guys sound good out there. Thanks for playing.